Time now for James Creedon, here with his computer and a list of stories for what we call Media Watch. James, how you doing?
Good evening, Mark. All right, not too bad.
It's a pleasure to see you. Now then,
Likewise.
Good day for Nicolas Sarkozy to be dealing with international matters because on the home front, he's got some baggage to get rid of, hasn't he?
He certainly has. Look at the front page of Le Monde that came out this afternoon, Mark. How the Secret Service spied on Le Monde. Now, this is basically goes back to a scandal that dominated the press last year, the Bettencourt-Verth scandal. And I think we have some pictures to illustrate who these characters are. She's the wealthiest woman in France, Liliane Bettencourt, the heiress to the L'Oréal fortune. And it's said that she perhaps gave illegal donations, political donations, to Nicolas Sarkozy's party. The Labour Minister of the time, Eric Woerth, had to stand down over it. Now, last year, Le Monde was investigating this story, and they claimed today on their front page that the Secret Service was spying on them. Here you have pictures of Eric Woerth who had to stand down. Well, he wasn't. His job wasn't renewed. Suffice it to say, there were many calls for him to stand down last year. In any case, Le Monde went to the courts about suspected espionage last year. The courts have now come out and said that illegal tracking of the journalists' mobile phones did take place. Now, that's illegal, obviously. A 2010 law protects journalists' right to protect their sources. Now, also this morning, you had the Interior Minister, Claude Guéant, who spoke about this. He more or less admitted that this happened. He said, look, we weren't listening into the actual conversations.
Of course not.
We wouldn't go that far, but we did track where the calls were coming from, going to, and the GPS locations of the people involved. So it's a pretty serious charge. Now, that's one scandal that's come back to haunt Nicolas Sarkozy. Another one is the so-called Karachi scandal. This goes back to the 1990s. Look at what Mediapart, a left-leaning website, is saying today. Mediapart targeted with death threats. Now, this is over articles that they put out in the last couple of months about a middleman in this so-called Karachi affair. It concerned arms dealing between France and Pakistan in the 1990s. There were kickbacks to the ruling party, or allegedly there were kickbacks to the ruling party in the Chirac era when Sarkozy was budget minister. So it's not very flattering for Nicolas Sarkozy. Now, Mediapart is saying a guy by the name of Pierre Sellier rang up sent text messages first of all to a journalist at Mediapart threatening him, then rang up the publication and spoke to another journalist saying, I'm a killer, you know this, right? I'm going to take Arfi out. Arfi was a journalist who was investigating all of this. Pretty incredible stuff, and it's been picked up by other newspapers today as well. So it's pretty good news, I think, for Sarkozy that there's so much international news right now, because it's not good news, basically, for Sarkozy, these two scandals bubbling up again 8 months from an election.
Indeed, and interesting to have a phone hacking scandal that doesn't involve Rupert Murdoch. There we go. OK, let's move on. Muammar Gaddafi, his whereabouts still very much preoccupying thoughts.
That's right. Let's have a look at this Algerian newspaper, El Watan. Now, they're very interested in all of this because, of course, his second wife and three of his children are in Algeria. Now, they're saying here, Alger refuse l'entrée à El Gaddafi. Algiers refused entry to Al-Gaddafi. Now, apparently, according to this newspaper, he was on the border town of Ghadamès, which is on the Libyan side of the border, and he was trying to gain entry into Algeria, even tried to ring up President Bouteflika, and I think we have a photo of the two of them here somewhere, the two guys. That's Bouteflika with Gaddafi, and apparently Bouteflika didn't answer the phone call. I suppose it's, the way sometimes you get a number coming up and you're thinking, right, maybe I won't answer that phone call. Well, Bouteflika found himself in that.
I think he has a special ringtone for Gaddafi, that kind of thing.
He might have.
His picture pops up.
He was like, maybe I better not answer it this time
That's
around.
Muammar. Nah, leave that one.
Not today. And another story in El Watan, they're saying that the wife and 3 children who did gain access into Algeria, they were made to wait for 4 days on the border before they came in. Now, it's kind of embarrassing for Algeria that his family have sought refuge in the country. So El Watan is saying, look, we weren't exactly eager to take them, but this was on humanitarian grounds.
Yes, a friend in need is a friend indeed, is the English saying, and it sounds like on the Algeria-Libya border it played no way. Next, a bizarre story. I'll let you explain it, James.
Right, okay. This is it was on the BBC website yesterday. The French media's picked up on it today. This is a kind of a European website based in France, My Europe. Parking meters for prostitutes in the German city of Bonn.
How does this work, James?
All right, well, basically, since 2002, in brothels, prostitutes have been paying tax since 2002. But on the streets, kind of streetwalkers, I suppose you could call them, it's not a tax. So what they've done is they've put these sort of parking meters in one street in the Red Light District in Bonn. And between 8:30 p.m. and 9 the next morning, you have to kind of take out a ticket for €6, and then you're allowed to have your spot on the footpath in Bonn. So it's the most German thing I've ever heard of, really.
So they have to pay and display.
Pay and display. It's sort of a sex tax, as they're calling it in the press today. There you go. A German solution to a German problem.
Vorsprung durch Technik, as they say. James, thank you very much indeed. James
Thanks, Mark.
Creedon there with Media Watch.